So just hear this shit. So like I've been walking to class and I think I might have done it to you and then like Danny as well. I'll be like, "What's up, person of interest?" Like, "What up, POI?" And they're like, "The fuck do you
I've never
want?"
heard you say that to me before.
I've been saying that shit it's because I forget people's names, no disrespect, but like I'll say that kind of thing and they're like and they don't, no one thinks anything of it. But one day, walking in, I think was it marketing or information systems?
It was a
It was market.
class.
Yeah, no, it was information systems, bro. Shout out to all my Marquette kids. So I'm like, "Yo, what up, POI?" And he goes, "Oh, like, what the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, I don't know. I just keep saying that shit. I don't know why. I'm like, POI, like, person of interest. I guess it's like, it gets people's interest, right? And he's like, "Yeah, but I don't know if you're doing it for the right reasons." I'm like, "True." And the girl behind us goes like, "Yeah, why do you say it?" I'm like, "I don't know. I like, no disrespect to you. I don't know your name." And she goes, "Oh." I'm like, "Do you know mine?" And she goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "No, you don't." And she goes, "Yeah, I don't." I'm like, "Yeah, I fucking told you." And I'm like, think about it. Like, would you rather someone call you just like you know that person right there, or like he, she, all these whatever identities, or like what a person of interest. She's like, I mean, I see where you're going, but like, sure. I'm like,
I don't know.
yeah, like yeah, it strikes up a conversation, and she goes, yeah, yeah,
An
you're right.
interesting one to say the least.
Right, exactly.
I
Because
don't.
then I got to know her name and noted I forgot it now, but then this was like a week and a half ago too.
It's
So
only been a week and a half, dude. You couldn't just remember it.
and I'm ass with names. So the kid in front of us he goes, "Yeah, but I'm not a POI." And we all look at him like, "What do you mean? Do you not like? Are you not interesting?" He goes, "No, I'm a POW." And we all looked at each other like, "This man really just said that," and we're like, "Okay, we're 20 years old, 21, 22. Does he not know what POW means?" And for people listening, POW is prisoner of war. And we go, "Do you not?" They're like, "Yeah, really? Do you know what that means?" He goes, "Yeah." And we're like, "What does it mean?" Because I
I want to
promise
know
you,
what you think it means.
because
That's what I really want to
we
know.
all looked at him like, "I promise you, it does not mean what you think it means."
Whatever you're thinking, dude, you're fucking
And he
wrong.
goes, he's like, "Oh, then what does it mean?" And the kid next to me goes, "It's prisoner of war, you dumbass." And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh shit, you're right." And we're like, "What the fuck did you think it meant?"
I can't wait to hear this.
He goes, "Bro, I thought it was personal weakness." And we're like, "Where the fuck do you get that shit? What the fuck? Like, what does that mean?" I'm sorry for struggling to think of that, because I was
First
just like,
off,
I
like,
didn't remember. But like, person of weakness, like, so, and we asked him like, "Why did you think you were a person of weakness?" He's like, "Man, I fucking hate school. I feel like a dumbass." And we're like, "Yeah, no shit, like
I think you
no
just
shit."
proved it.
Yeah, we're just all like looking around like, "You really can't, like, you can't be serious." And he goes, "Yeah, I guess I never learned it." And we're like, "Did you ever take like a history class?" He goes, "Yeah." And we're like, "Okay, did you take American history?" And he goes, "Yeah." And we're like, till what time frame did you get up to?" And he goes, "Oh, we got up to the Civil War, and we got up to the no, we got to the Civil Rights Movement." And we're like, "So you never talked about like how maybe Americans and Japanese were taken as prisoners of war, and like how World War II was a whole thing?" And he goes, "Maybe." And we're like, "Are you fucking like, bro? Que te vas con Dios."
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Let's Get Real podcast. This is episode 4. I'm here with. What are you doing? You don't know how to count? You forgot how to count?
4 episodes.
Yeah, 4 episodes. Yeah.
One more and we have 5. That's
Really?
wicked.
No way.
Yeah,
Wow,
I
that
found
leads
that out.
on. Yeah, that leads on to the topic we're talking about: education in the United States. Yeah.
Good, bad, or
Worse.
mid. Good, bad, worse, mid.
Good, bad,
Who
worse,
knows?
mid. pretty good, pretty all right, terrible, garbage. Who knows? That's what we're gonna find out right now. So anyway,
I mean, I won't say find out. I'll say this is more of just a discussion.
yeah,
I
it's
think,
not. Yeah, it's not finding out. We already know.
I guess you can say there are facts to dictate, but
Yeah.
most of the studying and researching we did, yeah, they say America's number one, which when you live here, I think we all disagree. But
Yeah.
hey, I don't know. I think this is a great country. Education, though, I think we can improve on.
We're
Just some
lacking very much.
practices and
So
things like
we are
that.
we're lacking when it comes to education. And yet everyone else looks to the U.S. and they praise us and they think that we're great, education wise, when it's not the truth.
And then we look at each other and we're like, the fuck?
We're
they
literally
on?
we look at each other. We're like, you hear these guys?
Well, I mean, appreciate the flattery, but I don't know about that.
It's like, you gotta cool your jets there, son.
Yeah. So, one of the lists we have here that after doing some just looking around, this one really caught our eyes, and it's the 15 biggest failures of the American public education system.
Yep.
And we are recording this on the 7th of May, and this was updated on the 6th. So today we're just going to be going through the list and then giving our opinions, and then we'd love to hear your guys' feedbacks, opinions, things like that on
Like it. Then
if you agree, disagree, or whatever you want to say. We'd appreciate that.
on the website for our podcast, we have a little option to leave either a message or voice memos if you want to leave that, or even send us an email too. There's an option to send us an email if anything. So if you have any comments on what we're talking about right now, please do so. And our Discord's on there too. If you want to join us on there and talk about that as well,
Just saying.
we'd love
Maybe
we'd
one
love
of
to
you
hear.
could be on the podcast.
And even one of you could be on the show if you would ever like to be. So visit the page. So visit the page, letsgetrealshow.net, and give us a shout.
Exactly. Couldn't say it better than but you did. So we're gonna go through the list. Let's start with what is it? So the 15 failures in American public education. Let's, I guess, start reading this for a little bit.
Indeed.
The introduction. So policymakers are constantly fighting to make changes to the American public education system, and not all of them are beneficial. Over the years, there have been a great deal of back and forth that have left the public education system in shambles. Some of these problems are easy to identify and have been long-standing issues, while others are new, brought about by advances in technology, changes in policy, and general changes that happen with time. So it says, every story has two sides. Every policy or program put into place, there are going to be proponents and critics, and they say that there's going to be an overview of some of the biggest issues in the American public system, as well as arguments from people on both sides of the issue. So we're going to go through the first 15 failures, and then I believe at the end there's 5 benefits that have been shown in recent history. So the first one is the deficits in government funding for schools. So funding is always an issue for schools and is in fact one of the biggest issues facing the American public education system today. So for more than 90% of K through 12 schools, funding comes from state and local governments, largely generated by sales and income taxes. Research shows, however, that funding has not increased with needs. Many states are still issuing funding that is lower than it has been, or that it was before the Great Recession. Lower funding means fewer teachers, fewer programs, and diminishing resources. So I'm going to throw it off to you and see what you have to say and your experience, and then I'll give my input, and then maybe we can just discuss on that.
Well, you see, I mean, experience-wise, I don't have much experience on it because the only school I went to the only college I went to was Miami-Dade, which is
this is talking about the K through 12 though.
Oh, you're talking about K through 12. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, never mind then. Well, we had difficulties on that because, when I was growing up, we didn't really have a lot of money really to work on. We were in a bit of a poor state. Not like, I wouldn't say horribly poor state, but like we weren't making as much as like the average American person, So it was kind of harder for us to afford schools. In fact, it got pretty bad one time where me and a few of my siblings had to be homeschooled at some point. So I know for a fact, like, I can't say much. I can't say much on the matter because most of my time I really wasn't even in a proper school. I was mostly homeschooled or in these like smaller special needs schools. So I don't have much to say on the matter really when it comes to funding for schools.
Right.
So as much as I'd love to like speak on it, like when it comes to funding on schools, I can't say much. Like I said,
Okay.
I wasn't in like a proper school.
Yeah.
I wasn't in a proper school most of the time.
Mhm.
But
Well,
I'm sure you probably have
I mean,
experience in that.
I
Yeah.
have an experience. I mean, I was growing up. I bounced around a lot.
Yeah.
What is it? I'm trying to think. I went through, I believe, a charter school, a public school, private, public, private,
Mm.
and I definitely can kind of remember things, especially younger, where like you could definitely see that because us growing up, I when I went to public school and I spent, my good time there. I was from second to eighth grade. And during that time, of course, the recession had just happened. And we're all recovering from that. Our parents are recovering from that. And I definitely could see that the school had kind of not flip flopped, but had it's the quality of education had started going down. Of course, there's not wasn't as much funding, and so we'd have old ass textbooks and things like that. And I'd say we would talk about with some of the teachers that were a little more open. We'd talk about their salary, and of course, us not really knowing much. We'd react, I guess, as a kid would understand, being like, "Well, that's a lot of money," but in reality, at the time, or I mean, even now, it was shit.
Yeah,
So it's
it's
barely
not anything.
livable.
Yeah, barely.
And I can even remember having discussions in high school with teachers being like, "Yeah, there's teachers in California, even I think it was San Francisco, which was like one of the I think it's the most expensive city, or was the most expensive city for teachers at the time." And they were making a certain amount of money. I don't know if it was above the national average, but it was you s- they couldn't find housing. It made no sense. So I think we'd love to hear your guys' opinions on especially this. What do you guys think about the resources in public schools? I mean, we're a few years out now, or I'm a few years out, and I go to a private
One
school
thing,
for
one thing I
college.
do have
Hmm?
to say is that there was one school I went to when I was in middle school. What was it? It was from yeah, like seventh to eighth grade. That there was one
Hmm.
school I was going to. It was a very small school. It was called Sunset Preparatory School. I remember it was, and we had a computer class. I remember that, but we barely had like any. Like, I don't know. It was all the quality of everything in there was kind of just like cheap and
Right.
everything. The computers were super out of date. Most of the books were worn out and like breaking apart whenever you would just hold on
Yeah.
to them. The classrooms all looked, not I wouldn't say like old and decrepit, but they looked like they were getting to that point where like it was starting to like it looked like it wasn't cared for as much. And
Yeah, I would
actually,
say.
and actually
Let
the
me.
what happened?
I
Go
wanted
ahead.
to add that, like, real quick, that like yeah, to say about like the school's quality would be like, I think there was I would say that, they lack a lot of funding in the custodial department, because no disrespect to custodians, I think they did the best job they could. It's just either there wasn't enough, either they didn't have the right, like, a good amount of cleaning supplies,
Yep.
enough time, or like there weren't enough people for such big campuses and things like that. So like one end of the school would be treated fine, but then the other would be like they're showing no love. And real quick, for like the computers, I can remember that shit being dusty as hell.
Oh yeah, they were super
Like, hey,
dusty. They'd never cleaned them at
whether
all.
yeah, whether they weren't allowed to, because maybe it's like, oh, they don't know what they're gonna do. Like they might break the computer. I don't know, because there's not enough money to, you know, buy a new one or whatnot.
There,
I can't speak upon that, but it's just like it made me question, like, damn, why do they not clean this?
there was
Or like,
also,
why is it not
I don't
clean
know
enough?
if you went through the same thing, but there were some times where I'd have to share a computer with another student
Yeah,
because not enough computers were working.
right. Yeah, that was a big thing. Oh my God,
It
wow,
was
that like
huge. Like
unlocked a memory. Yeah.
I'd literally be sitting there, my computer's not turning off. Oh, just go borrow his over there. It's like,
Yeah, just be
What
like,
do you
oh, you
mean?
two, yeah, you two share and work on your project together or something,
It's
or
like, what do
work
you
on your
mean?
projects. Yeah,
Why can't you
I'm like,
guys just
what?
get the computer fixed? What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
I
Like, you
remember
guys
that.
not have like an IT department or I don't even know what. Like, just fix
Yeah.
it.
Oh my God, I'm trying to remember if there was an IT department. I don't even think there
Oh no,
was.
my school didn't. It was way too small to have an IT department.
I was
But
in, I was, I was in one of the bigger,
yeah, no.
well-known
This
public
one was
schools.
just a very tiny building
Mm.
that had like maybe I don't even know how I can't even count. Maybe like 8, 10 rooms, something like that.
Mhm.
And classrooms consisted of like 10 to 15 students per.
Right.
And I actually I passed by it now, and they're no longer operating.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it just goes to show like funding for schools nowadays really is complete garbage. They couldn't even stay open.
Right. And I guess this could lead us into the third point. We'll go back up to the second, but today's students have, or number three is challenges with technology and education. Today's students have grown up using technology and have come to expect it in the classroom. But
Oh
there are
yeah.
arguments about how large a role technology should play in education. Supporters suggest that technology creates the potential for more active student engagement and provides instant access to up to date resources, while critics say it could be a distraction. While technology in the classroom certainly has its benefits, certain aspects of technology are challenging. For example, smartphones and easy access to technology and have made it easier for students to cheat and can negatively impact learning.
One thing I could
I'll
say
start off
for
by
sure.
saying that I'm 50-50 on it
I am
because I
too.
totally
No,
agree
I
that
was.
there's so much benefit to
Oh,
it.
it's super
But
beneficial.
believe me, I'm a big user of cheating.
Oh yeah.
Oh, best believe I'll look up those fucking answers all day.
Oh yeah.
And
Now,
yeah,
the way
like
I would
it'll
see it,
negatively affect it, but
the way I would see it is like I'm okay if you want to use technology for like your homework assignments or your
yeah.
classwork assignments, stuff like that. But when it comes to tests and you're using an iPad or something, you're
Mhm.
asking them to cheat. You're
Yeah.
literally asking them to just like grab the book or grab some or like look up a Quizlet and just cheat. If you're
Yeah, and
asking
even
them
with
to
the
use a
proctored
computer,
exams,
there's always a way
you're
around
you're
it.
not telling like there have been really good ones. I'll say
Oh
that.
yeah.
I've had some proctored exams where I'm like, shit, how the fuck do I cheat?
Yep.
But best believe me, dude, I had a class last semester. It was a proctored exam. She would review the footage in this camera, and I'd have to one of the screens would be locked and the other one wouldn't. So for everyone who doesn't know, I have a two monitor setup,
Yep.
and then there's a big wall in the back right here behind the camera. Bro, I would just put my notes up just at the eye line of the camera. So when I'd be like, fuck, man, I don't know what I'm doing, or like, oh, what does this mean? Or like, oh, let me think
Yep.
about this.
Yep.
And I could just see it. And it's because like nowadays it'll catch it like if it's awkward movements, awkward eye movements, shit like that, like tracking your eyes or whatnot. I've never had that experience, but it's like, motherfucker, if I have the thing right there, the camera's right there, it won't know. It
It
won't.
will not.
And if you
Literally will
tell me it
not.
does, man, fuck you. That's bullshit. That's bull. You're
the
capping. You're
way
capping.
the way I would do it is like let's say like this is like your iPad screen, right? The way
Mhm.
I would do it is like if somebody sent me the answers, like let's say the camera's like up here somewhere, I would put my phone up against the screen like right down here
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
How the hell are they going to see it? It's
Right.
pressed up against the screen. So like and I just like scroll like cuz I'd have like my hands like this, like exactly how the camera is right now. You can't even tell I'm swiping right now on a
Yeah,
phone.
exactly.
You can't
And
see it.
funny enough,
And
I
I'm
mean,
literally
one of our
doing this off
friends,
screen.
yeah, one of our friends, he took like a big test, and he was just like, man, I need to find a way to cheat. I'm like, bro, there's so many good ways to
So many
cheat.
ways.
Don't. And he's like, dude, I don't know. The thing is, if you want to cheat and you want to cheat right, you gotta be like, you can't be, like super sketch about it. You just
Oh
gotta
yeah,
be
no. If
doing
you're
your thing.
incredibly sketchy about
If you
it, you're gonna
just
get
like, if
caught.
you just do it, but with minimal movement, but you're not too cautious, where it looks sus, you'll be fine.
Oh yeah, they're not
Trust
gonna
me,
tell.
I'm an expert. I've gone through 3 years of college through this shit, 4 years of high school, and 2 years of middle school. Because the first year I didn't really cheat. I just didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
You see, middle school, I didn't have that same privilege.
So
We had
yes, am I
papers.
part of this problem? 100%.
Yep.
And I will proudly wear that. And I'm super against it. But
Yep.
I'm still gonna take advantage.
Oh, I mean, hey, if they're not gonna change it, might as well
Yeah,
just join the
exactly.
crowd. Join the
Right.
crowd, dude.
And so what we're saying is that, there's such an advantage of technology, for sure, but it has to be used the right way. And as of right now, I haven't put enough thought into it, so I can't, say things to say like, definitely they should be using technology like this. But I would say that like there's definitely better ways they can implement it.
Oh,
Especially I like that one
100%.
about the exams. As I love exams online because I know for a fact I'll find a way to cheat.
Yeah.
In person, oh man, I struggle with that.
Oh
I
yeah,
still
I've
struggle with
always
that.
struggled with in-person exams. Always,
Yeah,
my whole life. But it's just that's what professors have to understand is like if you want them to learn, you can't put an exam online. They won't
right.
learn it. All they'll do
Yeah.
is like for the whole semester, they'll start saving screenshots or they'll take
Oh,
these like special
yeah.
notes and everything, and then they'll have it ready the day of the exam, and they'll just like tape it onto the wall like you did, or they'll have their phone pressed
Oh,
up against
perfect
their
example.
computer. It's
Yeah.
like making your tests online and proctor just because you made them proctor doesn't mean shit. They're gonna find a way around it. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Like you putting a test online is literally asking them to cheat. If you want them to learn, you make it an in-person exam. And if
Yeah.
you can't make it in person, reschedule it, and you just reschedule it, whatever. But like
Right.
if you want them to learn, it has to be an in-person exam because it forces them to properly learn the material.
Exactly. And I guess do we want to continue going through the list in order, or do we want to like pick a
We can
few?
veer off into like others like anything that like piques our interest like the most.
I mean, the biggest one for me is definitely mental health challenges, but
Oh,
I'd rather leave
100%.
that for last because I have too much passion
Oh,
for
I
that.
think yeah, no, I think that one for sure is a good one to end the show off of. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll leave
And
that
I
one for
saw
last.
this one was, I guess it's not like too surprising. Like I've seen, I mean, I actually saw
Schools
it
being
here.
closed?
Yeah, too many schools are being closed. Schools all over the country are closing their doors in numbers that are quite alarming. This only leads to an increase in issue with large class sizes and poor access to resources. It is easy for parents and teachers in communities that are affected by closures to feel targeted, even when school board members provide unbiased data. In some cases, closures cannot be prevented, but they can be delayed, and communities should consider other solutions or alternative uses for schools, such as community centers or adult education centers. So I've had little experience on seeing things like this. Like there's a school that near me that actually just got closed down, and I heard kids talking about it. Yeah, of course, I don't know this area very well, but them talking about like, yo, this is gonna make a big difference. Like what the fuck's going on? I'm like, oh shit, because a lot of kids were like, yeah, we gotta be moved somewhere. Actually, wait, didn't no? I don't know if this happened to me in middle school or this happened to us in high school. Oh my god, yeah, it did, but it was temporary. In
Um
one of the hurricanes, a bunch of kids from a different school had to got transferred into our school. I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
that.
You know what? I remember now. Yeah. I don't remember what the school was, but I remember
Yeah,
that. I remember that happened. That was crazy.
yeah, that was crazy.
That
'Cause
was
dude,
insane.
man, there was a bunch of walk-ons now. I'm like big ass motherfuckers taking up the field. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm no
Jeez.
athlete, but god damn, what are they feeding you?
These
Ugh,
motherfuckers like and you see them in the cafeteria eating just shit tons of like cheeseburgers and
fucking
shit.
cheeseburgers, chicken sandwich, bro.
Hey,
I mean,
those
that's one thing with funding, bro. They expect us to have, healthy, nutritious, and
it's
filling
impossible.
foods. Bro, you're giving me fucking like
You're giving us pennies, dog. What do you want us
you're
to
giving
do?
us like the little two cheeseburgers in the little plastic that are made of fucking plastic. Like, you know what I mean?
Bro, it was
The cardboard
my god,
pizza.
the burgers we had in our high school, bro.
Oh God,
They were
fuck you,
made. They tasted like they were made of styrofoam.
dude. If that, man, that was a privilege that
I
day.
know. Yeah. The only thing that, bro, and I have a special story about that. Okay, it was before classes even started. It was during summer school.
Summer
Cause
school, right? Yeah.
yeah, it was during summer school that like I went to go have lunch with Danny and some of the other guys, and I remember, I think it was it Nick that told me? I think it was Nick that told. Nick's another friend of ours, but
Yeah.
Nick told us like, oh, these chicken nuggets aren't real. Like, let me show you really quick. And he grabbed one and he smushed it against the table completely flat. His hand was just flat, like this against the table. And then when he removed his hand again, the chicken nugget formed back into its original shape.
What the fuck?
And it's like, how the hell is that even fucking possible? How the fuck? How the fuck
you telling me
smush?
a thing that goes bok just said, man, let me reform this bitch.
Like, how the fuck is it that a chicken nugget gets perfectly smushed and smushed hard against the fucking table, and then when you remove your hand, reforms back into its original shape? That shit was made of fucking, like, I don't even know what. Some sort of rubber.
Right. Dude, yeah, agreed. I can remember, like, in freshman year, I would always, like, buy food. I would never bring food, and I'd just buy the burgers and the chicken sandwiches.
They were nasty, but
and when my mom would pick me up, I'd take like naps after school because man, I'm awake from 6 in the morning and I'm leaving school at 3:45. Dude, I'd take a fat nap. I'd wake up. I'd feel like shit because remember at the end of school they would sell the food.
Yeah, they'd still have the leftover food.
They'd still have like the leftovers, bro. I'd bag 6 of those burgers, put it in my backpack, and purchase one.
I do it too.
And I'd eat it. And like, yeah, of course, people listening and watching, yeah, I'd be eating, you know, an absurd amount of food. But you're telling me shit that was this thick made me feel garbage.
Oh yeah.
I felt like absolute garbage.
Ass.
Bathroom. Ugh. Fuck it, life.
I swear, you would shit.
Weight gain. Oh my
God. Would shit the burger out in its original form. That's how bad it would probably be.
Basically.
You would shit the burger out, and then when it's in the toilet, it's in the shape of a fucking burger. I'm sorry if this is nasty to anyone, but like, you know.
No, but it's true. I think
it's disgusting. This food is, and it's something all of us can relate to. All of us.
Before we close this, I just want to say that. You see those TikToks or whatever, or those videos of people like, oh, my high school lunch got a Chick-fil-A, a Subway, Burger King.
Yeah, no, we didn't have that fucking privilege.
I'm like, what the fuck? What?
We had rubber for lunch.
Bro, we had fucking Firestone tires. They had Chick-fil-A. Like, you're kidding. Bro, Chick-fil-A goated.
Bro, but no. Is, like, I gotta say, though, honestly, there'd be some days where we got Pirelli tires. That was pretty lit.
I'd smack the fuck right now. I'd smack this shit.
Bro, we got Pirellis some days. Those was lit, bro. We got better traction.
The marshmallow guy, what was his name?
Oh yeah, bro. When we got Michelin,
Michelin. Oh my god,
the Michelin ones, they were pretty dope.
One thing they did, they would have like sushi Wednesdays, and then like stir fry or not stir fry with the fucking Tuesday, the chicken
I think I remember. Yeah, the chicken chop.
And then Smoothie King Mondays.
Smoothie King, Cold Stone Fridays.
But guess what? That shit was $5 each thing. When a regular lunch was $1.
Cold Stone Fridays though.
Okay, that slapped.
That was pretty
so
fucking
goddamn
good.
expensive. Man.
Oh my god, it was ridiculous. And you can only buy it with cash. That was the thing. You couldn't even use because
voucher thing.
Ice cream. Because I don't know if this is probably the same for everyone else, but like you would have an account with the school and you'd put money into it, and that's how you'd pay for all your lunches. But you couldn't use that money from that account to pay for the Cold Stone or for the Smoothie King. You would have to literally have cash on you, which in high school, if we were freshmen, most of us didn't have jobs, and some of our parents weren't giving us allowances. We didn't have cash.
I had $50 to my name. Best believe I spent ice cream.
We didn't have cash. What the fuck was the difference with just having us use that?
You know, I ended with a balance in school. Like when we graduated, I still had money in the.
Oh yeah, I did too. I don't remember how much, but I did too.
I know I had like over like $20, $30.
Yeah, I think I had about
I'm just curious if we got that money back.
I don't know.
Doubt it.
No,
Yeah.
knowing our school, no.
Yeah,
no, the fuck
school,
they did.
We're not gonna name drop them because I will say that was the best 4 fucking years of my life.
Oh yeah, greatest 4 years of my life as well.
But man, those cheap motherfuckers.
We're not gonna say who. Don't worry. We're not naming names. But you know, for all the people that went to our high school, we all know who we're talking about. You guys know what we're talking about. All the guys that went to school with us, you know who we're talking about.
Exactly.
So we're not gonna say it, but you guys know.
Okay, we veered
Yeah,
off
we
from the
veered off
topic.
very much, but I feel like that was fun though. I like
But I
going
actually
down
like
memory
this
lane.
one. I really enjoy the lack of teacher innovation and outdated
Yeah.
teaching methods.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That I
I
experienced
think
a lot when I was in Dade.
I think we don't really have like I can give a whole summary of this, but I think we all understand that there's I mean one the material most of the time they teach us is decades old.
Oh yeah.
Decades.
Literally.
Like they're teaching us shit from 1980 when there was like 10 million people in this world type
Oh yeah.
shit. Like
And
the
it's
fuck?
literally outdated as fuck, and it doesn't matter now. Yeah.
Yeah, like they'll have like I mean like not to bring a sensitive subject, but I remember I had a textbook back in like middle school or elementary. They still had the Twin Towers. Mind you, this was 2013
Yeah.
when that shit was in 2001. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
And it was not history of like
It
September
wasn't the
11th.
history of it. It
This
just
was some
showed the
shit of just
actual
New
towers.
York.
Yeah, it was just a picture of New York.
Like
Yep. It doesn't make any sense.
dog. Fuck.
Show a date like a picture of New York of today. Like what's the
Yeah, it's like
point?
oh Twin Towers 1999 or something. And
Yeah,
it's
or
like
yeah,
okay,
or, I mean, or
and
like
you're telling me
if
that
you're gonna show the
you're
picture if you're gonna show the picture of it, tell
gonna
the history of it. That's kind of important history of the
that
United
shit was
States.
written before, or that shit was published before 9/11 happened. So you're just like, the fuck
Yeah, it's like
was
why are you giving
ridiculous,
us this shit now? Why don't you
right?
give us
And those teachers,
dated shit?
we all had those teachers who taught by the book. They would never like this will get into the other or the top five emerging trends, but they would just say the same thing every semester, every year, like dude, some of my teachers now they have the syllabus from years ago or like the semester before, not even with the fixed dates. Like my final was listed for December. Motherfucker, school ends in a week. Last time I checked,
That ain't December.
I think you're off. So no
We
disrespect
ain't
to
in
you as a
December, dog.
person. What the fuck are you doing? What are
Yeah,
you doing?
nah, legit. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah,
I don't get the point of it. Like, it's not even just for like the enjoyment of the students. It's like stuff just gets outdated and doesn't matter anymore.
right.
And like as a added bonus, students will be completely uninterested as well.
Yeah. And then for the fifth point on this list, problems with the Common Core curriculum. So the standards were developed to specify exactly what students should know before graduating high school. It was developed in 2009 to promote educational equality, equity. Jesus Christ, I'm like, I need to go back to fucking first grade.
I think you
Read
ain't
me
going
Cat in
back
the
to
Hat.
school, dude.
So it was developed in 2009 to promote educational equity across the country, holding all students to the same standardized testing requirements. And some of the problems are that the intrusion into the state control of education. Others say that it does not allow for teachers' innovation, flexibility with the learning process. And most states adopted the standards when they were introduced, but more than a dozen have since repealed or revised them. So what you're telling me is the federal government said, "Hey, look, this is the standard."
Yeah.
But for those of us who do not know, education is then divided by the state, county, city, shit like that. So the states said, "Yeah, but I'm going to switch that up real quick."
Oh my.
So you're telling me a kid in Florida to a kid in Wisconsin to a kid in Colorado, they might be getting taught the same thing, but at some point they're probably not.
Yep.
That is a fucking mistake and a half.
Oh yeah.
That how does that happen? And I mean, we all know these different bills coming up, and we all know this one that came up in Florida. I'm not too highly informed on it, and we all know the nickname for it. I'm not gonna say it because it's just something where people are gonna get ticked off, or
Yeah,
they're gonna
I'm not
hold
adding.
it firm and proud.
We're not adding controversy or anything to
Yeah.
this. So
So like, if you guys want us to talk about that sometime, I would definitely love to.
yeah,
Once
let
I
us
like
know.
read
Honestly.
more and I understand the big news behind it. But it's like, yeah, when shit like this happens in Florida, where like they're saying you can't read that, you can't read this, or you can read this, stop teaching that, and then other people are doing the same. but it's not catching the same news. That is a fucking problem and a half. That should
Oh
not be
yeah.
happening.
No.
I
Not
don't
at
know
all.
how we got to fix that, but we got to fix that stat because
Yeah.
sure we will have maybe the same like arithmetic, mathematics, science, language arts type thing of like teaching us how to read, basic math, basic principles, a difference between a gas, solid, and a liquid or whatnot, which at this point couldn't give a fuck.
Oh yeah. No. I mean, for us it doesn't matter, but like
Yeah.
for like
But like you're telling me at some point that all like splits, that is not okay. That is
that
not okay.
really is not.
And it's frustrating because it's one of those things you don't think about. But I remember like a slight discussion of talking about that with a kid from Georgia, and we're from Florida, so talking about just a state away. We talked about like having some courses back in like early years of high school or like late years of middle school. We were on different modes, man. Different fucking modes. And another problem is that some teachers wouldn't get through the whole curriculum. I had like government in senior year, first semester. Fantastic class, fantastic teacher. He's the OG. But we did not get to anything, bro. We did not. Hell, my World War II class, which is an elective, of course, but we didn't get to the end of the war.
Were you talking about in high school?
Yeah,
Oh
with
yeah, yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah. With him, yeah, yeah.
Great teacher, great cool
Oh, I
guy.
love
But
him, love him.
the thing
I'm
is,
not
dude,
gonna name
off
call,
topic.
but yeah, you know.
He was fucking dope.
Oh, he was a
Fucking
great
dope. No,
guy,
just,
but
I
no,
love
it
him.
was the same thing. We didn't get to the
Dude,
end of it either.
I'm a big fan of history. I love my
Oh,
history.
I love it.
I got two posters right here of the war declared and peace. And then you guys can't see it, but that's a aircraft carrier 19, I think 41 or 42 that my granddad flew onto. Super dope. But off topic. Now back
Yeah,
onto
yeah.
it. We didn't. I'm taking World War II. We didn't get to 1945. That shit started what 1937, 1939. The
Yeah,
fuck?
yeah. No, we didn't get anywhere. I don't know if we were in the same class, but I know for
No, we
sure.
weren't.
Yeah, no, we took
You were. I
the
think
we
you were in the
took
semester before me or class before me.
yeah, because we took the same exact class. But
Hmm.
I remember, yeah, very clearly, we didn't get through like anything, any of
Yeah.
the any like we got through the
We got some important
beginning.
shit, but
We
not
got through
the
we
end.
got through important shit, but like we got through the beginning of the war and nearly halfway. But when we reached the halfway mark, the semester ended and we didn't finish.
Yeah. And
I don't
it's
even
just
think we
like,
had a final. It was like that was it.
dude. No, I had a final. It's
I
just
didn't.
I fucking hate you.
I didn't have a final.
I remember I did. I did in the class because the thing is, I was just super uninterested
Well, yeah,
because I'm
no,
like,
of
this is
course.
taking too long.
I was the
But
same way.
that's neither here or there. That's person. That it comes to the person.
Yeah.
But it's the subject of the matter is that curriculum in schools just fluctuates so much because some teachers will get through the whole thing, but then sometimes the curriculum would just be completely different.
Oh yeah.
So it's like there has to be a standard nationwide, just simply nationwide, where
It
states
it
can't
doesn't.
touch it.
I don't understand why. I don't understand why we allow that. Like we allow like
Yeah,
people to make the like to people like to change it up completely. Why is it we can't just have everyone?
we definitely can do something about this, like in the sense that like we can maybe talk about this on a different like episode, or
Yeah.
just make just like a little snippet or something.
Yeah, if anything.
But like, because that's just one thing that's really just like it's frustrating to see that because that just I don't see the methodology behind that. Like I don't see the plus sides.
There is no plus side to it.
Exactly.
There
That's
isn't because some people will know all the information and some people will only know part of it or some people won't even know any of it.
mm,
It's like it doesn't make any sense. Why not make it so that we all know the information that we need to know? Why isn't that we can't all be taught the same thing then?
right.
Instead of just having knowing a partial piece of it or none of it at all. It doesn't make any
Hmm.
sense. But like
So I
why
think
like I don't
yeah,
understand.
like it
It's
does not make
annoying.
sense.
It's annoying.
An interesting element is definitely that so the decrease in teacher salaries. So so teacher salaries, they're not impressive. So It states that teacher salaries are by no means impressive, and in most states, they have decreased steadily over the past few years.
Oy.
In fact, research shows that the average salary for public elementary and secondary schools teachers dropped by nearly 5% between 2009 2010 to now. States like Oklahoma and Colorado experienced a 17% and 16% decrease, and they saw massive teacher walkouts in 2018. I'm just gonna say, does not make sense in my head how the hell we're not like
How are
paying
we
these
not
people
paying them more? How the hell are we
right,
not paying them
like
more?
fair amount. Because the thing is, I think we all agree. I don't know how it works, so I can't speak to it much on the budgeting. But how do that they not get compensated enough for teaching our country's future?
It's
I'm so
they
confused.
have literally one of, if not the most important job right
Yeah,
now. Like it's literally empowering our future. It's
yeah,
they're like the future of our country lies in the hands of these people that teach our future.
yeah. And the thing is, as we see now, inflation has gone up
Oh
a
yeah,
shit ton.
crap ton, literally.
So if it's going down nearly 5%, include that 7% or 8% now inflation.
Yeah, no,
What the fuck, bro? Teachers are getting screwed left and right.
very much
And
so.
we can all get political about this, blaming the left and the right. I don't give a shit about that. We got to find a way to fix that.
Yeah, no,
We got
I
to find
don't
a way to fix this too.
I don't give a fuck about party whoever's fault it is, left or right. I don't care whose fault it is. The point is that these people are not getting compensated the way they should
Right.
be. Like this low pay for the amount of shit that they have to go through, the amount of stress they have to
Yeah,
go
they have
through.
to take care of the kids. They have to supervise them. They have to teach them. They have to make sure the kids know what they're being taught. They have to like the thing is, I would feel like I would love to be a teacher. I think, but the thing is, they get paid. You don't get a good amount of pay. So the
Yeah.
thing is, it's like there's less incentive to like go to work and be enthusiastic
No,
about
yeah,
it.
and I have what
It-
is it called?
For what?
No, is that my girlfriend? She's currently studying to be a teacher and everything. She's like training to be a teacher and everything, and she says that there's nobody wants to like even take the classes or anything for it now, like because the pay is just majorly low. Like, there's a major shortage and everything. Like nobody wants to take any of the classes for it. Nobody wants to do any of the training for it. Nothing.
Wow, that's
And like I honestly, I commend her bravery for wanting to try it because, like,
yeah.
I love her to death. But that takes
That takes
guts.
guts.
That
Yeah.
literally takes guts to want. Like even like besides the pay, like even though the pay is so low, to still want to like try
Right.
to do it.
Hmm.
That takes guts. That takes
Yeah.
guts that nobody
That's
else could
leading
ever
into
have.
my next point that I was going to say is that if you take this job, you have to be extremely passionate. Because if you don't think about the money, which personally for me, you got to think about the money all the time. Because
Yeah,
it's
of
like,
course.
okay, how am I going to pay for my car, my house, my apartment, my dog, my family, my whatever?
Yeah.
When you're not getting paid enough, but you're doing the job you love. That's number one for sure. But you got to be compensated for it, and they're not. They're just not, and it's
They really aren't.
unfair.
It's
It's super unfair.
completely unfair.
Do I know how to fix it? I don't. I don't have those answers now.
I
But I'd like to
God
learn
knows I don't.
and like see what what ideas people have and
Yep.
maybe what the reasons are behind this. Yes, because I don't know. I'm not fully educated on that subject or on this subject. So I would love to get back. We'll definitely get back to you guys on this.
Yep.
And if you guys do have, answers, please leave them in the
If anyone,
comments. Please.
honestly, actually, if anyone is currently in training or taking classes to be a teacher, we'd love to hear from you. Actually,
Oh,
what
yeah.
your
If you have any
thoughts on
experience
this right
studying
now?
this.
Like, what your thoughts going through this whole thing right now is. Like, I honestly, we'd love to hear from you. Like I said, hop onto the website and just reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you, really.
Yeah. I like this next point, number 7, the emphasis on standardized testing. I'm gonna tell you right the fuck now, dumbest shit in the world.
I don't get the
Dumbest,
point.
dumb
I
as
mean,
shit.
I somewhat understand it. Sure, I guess it's to point out where you are, like academically. I understand it sort of, but I don't know why that has to define it. Because I don't know. Nowadays, I feel like it just they make it seem like it defines who you are, not only like academically, but it just defines who you are as a person now, which doesn't
Right.
make a lot of sense. Like, no, that doesn't define who you are.
Right. So to read this little synopsis is that along with Common Core, there have been an increased focus on standardized testing, especially during the No Child Left Behind years. Schools and teachers are judged based on student test scores, which many argue is not a fair or accurate measure of efficacy. Many critics argue that standardized testing is one of the biggest problems in American education,
Yeah,
suggesting
I
that the
would agree.
pressure to produce high test scores leads to a teach to the test approach and reduces focus on non-test subjects.
I would
So I'm gonna
agree.
say this, my mic.
Oh, you got muted. That was weird. I think
Good? We chill?
yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
Fuck.
wait. Say something. Wait, just talk for a little bit.
Hello? We good?
Yeah, I think
Do I
you're good.
sound
Yeah,
good?
you're
Do I
good.
sound
Yeah, you're
bad?
fine. You're fine.
Sorry about that. I'm gonna say this to everyone who's listening who has been through high school and is in college or is going through high school and taking those ACTs, SATs, ABCs, whatever the fuck. I I know for a fact my parents spent an extra $1.50 to get me through those courses to prepare me for these tests, and I didn't do shit with it.
Oh yeah, I didn't do
And the
anything.
reason is because those tests would be 4 subjects. I took the ACT, so it was what was it? Reading. What was it? It was reading.
Writing, math,
No, but it was reading. Um, there was
science. I
some.
think it was
Yeah,
science.
it
I
was
think was
it was
involved. Yeah.
reading. It was two like English and then math, science, and then a writing portion if
Yep.
you wanted to
Yeah.
take
If
it.
you wanted to do that, yeah.
Dude, the thing is, he wouldn't teach us. Like they wouldn't teach us on like the content of the exam. They would teach us how to like get through it and get every question because that's the thing. He's like, the best thing you can do is if you don't know a fucking answer, try to circle one off and guess. Just get you'll try it. You try your best. You like he would teach us different ways to learn to read the passages or understand how to break down questions and then do some of the math and do the science. But like, dude, I don't know how the fuck to do this in my regular class. You're telling me I've, 10 minutes to make 30 questions. The fuck? That's the big thing. They would ask us to read 4 passages with like 10 questions each in like 30 minutes.
It's
One, if
like
you
some
can read
people,
like
it's
that,
not possible.
congratulations. I can't fucking read like that. I do
Oh
not
yeah,
have it.
no.
I mean, first off, I don't read very much. I have started to read a lot more, and I thoroughly am enjoying it. Um, but I can't read that fast. I can't. So
Oh
one, I
no.
have to get through that passage. I remember he would say like, "Oh yeah, read the first three paragraphs, then read the last one. Fuck the middle, because
Yeah.
you don't have the time." And
Yeah.
I'm
You
like,
don't
"Ah,
have the
yeah,
time, and you
okay,
get everything you need to know just from those, like just from
yeah."
that.
So it's like you're telling me half the shit ain't useful, and then paper being used. We need trees, motherfucker. That's a different subject. But like, come on.
We
Like,
need
bro,
trees.
hey, bro, but the pressure, like, I can remember you stressing about that shit, and
Dude, I was
yeah,
bad
oh
when I
my
was taking
god,
it, bro. I was bad. It was so stressful. I remember the first time I took it. I know the PSAT. I remember when I took the PSAT, it wasn't too bad because like going into high school, I didn't even know what the SAT was up until I was
oh
given the
me either.
PSAT, and then they told me like, oh yeah, this test doesn't really. I remember the teacher that I had that was taking care of us during our PSAT told us that like it just doesn't matter that much when
Yeah,
it kind of does though, like it sort of does but it sort of doesn't.
it matters to the point to like if you take it serious, it shows you where you are.
Yeah.
And I remember freshman year, I took it serious. Sophomore year, I'm pretty sure I took it serious.
Yep.
Junior year, didn't give a fuck, and then senior year, like I don't know if we got it. I don't think we did.
No, we
But
didn't.
junior year, I did not give a fuck, and I tested well. It's like, oh okay.
Yeah, no, because
And by well, I mean like above the like 50th percentile or whatnot, or
I
like I did
remember I
better
remember
than average.
like my first time taking the PSAT, since he said like, oh, it doesn't matter, I just started just like bubbling everything out. I ended up getting a 740.
bruh.
I didn't care. It was like it
Exactly.
doesn't matter. Like, okay, whatever,
I got my
whatever.
score improved every year. Funny enough, but the thing is, like the increase from like freshman to sophomore year was dramatic.
Yeah.
But then from sophomore to junior, like bro, it was like 10 points. It was like a whole ass question.
Yeah,
But
cause
it's like, but
yeah,
yeah, I was the same boat. Just like, dude, I don't care. I got another test next week that I got to focus on for like chemistry or business
that's another
or
thing.
fucking.
That's another thing. You have to also balance out. Like, you have to balance out like studying for this standardized test while also studying for current tests that you have at school. You have to balance that out. It's impossible because depending on like how you are academically, some people are in like, AP classes and all that.
Right.
So imagine those people that are in AP classes taking these hard ass tests, and then they have to also take a standardized test. So they have to study almost 5 times harder than everyone else.
Bro, our we had two. What was it called? Like the best student in the class what's that shit?
Oh, valedictorians, I think.
Yeah, we had two valedictorians. They had a 5.7 weighted GPA.
Oh my god.
I graduated with a 3.
Yeah, me
So
too.
you're telling
I
me he
think
had
did
almost
I?
double?
Yeah, about a 3. Yeah,
Bro, God bless him. I bet he's fucking finding a way to cure cancer.
I bet he's at NASA.
Definitely at NASA. I think he went to UF, I'm pretty sure.
Oh fuck, good for him.
Um,
I don't even
yeah,
know him.
like on a full ride and shit like that.
Goddamn.
Great for him. So I respect those kids who take that shit serious,
Oh
but
yeah,
for the average student, this does not help us. So I think this leads into one of the topics we really want to discuss is the student mental health challenges.
yeah.
So I'm going to read this real quick. Mental health is a growing concern in the U.S. and one that affects school students. A 2018 study showed that nearly two-thirds of college students experience overwhelming anxiety has been reported in younger students as well.
You just can't
I was
read
like,
today.
oh, I can't read it all. Um, Even schools that are trying to make a difference face challenges. For example, the recommended ratio of students to counselors is uh, for one counselor for every 1,000 to 1,500, and the U.S. college campus average is 1737 to one. Oh my God, it was almost 1738.
I fucking hate
Uh,
this so much.
so awareness of mental health issues is increasing, but there's still a stigma that prevents many students from seeking care. Me and Joseph are speaking from experience. We went through that shit. We went through the mud
Oh
when
yeah.
it comes to mental health. We had our battles, and especially most of it was, I would say, for me, thinking about it real quick, I would say most of it had to deal with school. The pressures it brought on of like, you need to go to college, you need to be successful, you need to get a degree, and I was like, oh fuck, man,
This leads back into
am I
like,
even gonna graduate?
yeah.
I was like, oh fuck.
This leads
But then,
into like our previous episode where we talked about addiction. We touched up on how depressed we were and how
right,
how all of this
I-
led all the stress from school led to us
yeah,
getting into these addictions, really.
right.
So like,
And my shit started through middle school. I mean, because the thing is, I'm not gonna say I was. I'm a very lazy person. It takes me a long time or a while to like get motivated or do one thing. But if I am really passionate about something, I will spend countless hours doing it. School was not one of those things. I hated school.
I
I was
despised it.
forced to do it. I did not enjoy doing it because the teachers showed no interest. They didn't give a shit about me. Or, like half the kid. Another good point is bullying in school is terrible. We'll talk about that next. I want to actually get through that.
Yeah.
So like I was just in a ditch, and and the school is covering me with more dirt because they're trying to like set these expectations for everyone, but not everyone is meant for that. Not
No.
everyone is meant for that shit.
Nope.
And I'm going through college. I'm having a blast of a time. I'm doing decently well. I'm actually doing about a 3, and you know, push one way or another, decent. But I'm enjoying it. I know you're taking a semester off. You may continue, you may not. Some of our friends, even recently, are stressed. Danny, I
Danny's
don't know if
very
he'd ever
stressed
want to
right now.
speak on that, but he was extremely stressed, and then he was stressed.
Yeah.
He has been stressed these last couple months, but like that ain't good for you. It is not good for your health.
No, not at
And
all.
it's just it's just unfortunate, and I hope, there's something that can be done like my school does. They have a really good counselor team that you can either phone in or you can go in person, and we have like a school dog too. His name is I,
Oh, I
I
love
struggle
that.
with the pronunciation. I don't know if it's Q or Coo. It's it's CUE, but with like an accent, I think over the C or something. I think I have the sticker here somewhere. But I got to meet the dog once. Oh my God, his fluffiness just helped so much. I'm allergic, but oh fuck, I was like, I'll risk death. But like programs like that, they are super beneficial. I mean, I think, especially right now, since it was finals week and has been and is gonna be for some of us. I think, for everyone listening, we all understand like, yeah, these last few weeks were fucking hell. Trying to get all the projects in, all the studying in, those grades up, keep the grades up, whatnot. Like, oh my God, man,
I can
these.
imagine, honestly. I
Yeah,
can. I mean,
I'm so happy for you taking this semester off. I bet it helped so much.
my mental state has been in tip-top
I
shape.
see. Wait, what is it? I can see clearly now. Man, that's not me.
I mean, the only stress I have is work, but
Oh,
other than that, it's like,
yeah.
I
But you,
mean,
right?
that's
Like,
different though. I mean, work stress, I welcome work stress really,
yeah.
but because like it gives me more challenges that I'm
You look at
more
it.
like that. I
Um,
see it as just a problem
yeah,
I gotta solve. That problem that I'm looking forward to solve. Really.
yeah, like a little off topic, but I remember seeing a post the other day of like this guy's like, don't dread on going to school, don't dread on going to work, don't go to dread on going to the gym every day. Look at it as a privilege. Like I get to go to school. I get to go to work and make money. I get to go to work, enjoy it. I get to go work, see my friends. I get to go to school, enjoy it. I get to, challenge myself academically, mentally, physically. I go to the gym to challenge myself, things like that.
Yep.
And
It's
I've
just a
been
good way of
focusing
viewing
on
it.
that these last couple days, and it has been working. But unfortunately, for the gym's sake, I'm dealing through an injury, which does blow. And
It
then
does.
school, it has helped. I mean, there's still one course I'm struggling with, so that's just that's a different subject. But
Yeah.
I am that it's all about like the mental approach for everyone. But there's also just a thing with school that they don't help with that. They don't help instill these
Not at
mental
all.
barriers or mental fortitude on able to handle the pressures of it. They fail in that
And
aspect 100% of the time.
I don't want to say that they don't care, but all I do want to
Seems like
say is
it.
like it really does feel like they just don't care. It's like I don't want to say that they don't because I know for a fact there's a lot of teachers and professors I've had that have, you know, always
That
like
connection.
they've had that connection. They talk to me, hey, you okay? You want to talk about something? I've had those teachers that are like that, but it's not more the teachers where it is just like the school itself, all the administrators and or counselors, I mean, and their job is to make sure that everything is good for us, like we're enjoying or not enjoying, but like everything's running smoothly for us.
Yeah,
And if we're not right mentally, like that's not really smooth, is it? You're not really
right.
doing your job and making sure that we're okay, that we're satisfied with how we are right now.
Hmm.
And it just feels like that they don't show enough attention towards their students, really. They just don't. Like they like every now and then there should be like a way of like the counselors should have a way of interacting with their students.
Yeah, and
You
I
know.
mean, our high school they would do it only like once a quarter, once a semester or
Yeah.
something. And it has like there have to be like preventative measures being taken,
Hmm.
or like not prevent like I guess that sounds a little too dark, but what I mean is that there has to be like a set thing where it's like, hey, if we see these numbers dipping or whatnot, or seeing the attitudes change enough, it's like, okay, we're doing something wrong. And it's gonna be hard. I bet it's hard already. I bet it's gonna even be harder, like trying to, really focus on that. But there's definitely ways we can just improve
Oh yeah.
on eliminating a lot of the stress that school puts on us. Um,
There are plenty
just
of
like
ways. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So I want to move on to the next point, which I think is big, and I actually just reading it real quick is that the bullying in schools, over 20% of students in grades 6 through 12 have been bullied either in school or on their way to and from. But this figure is actually down from 32% in 2007. And of course, it's still much too high. And the challenge with these statistics is that many students who are bullied do not report it. And bullied students experience a wide range of physical, behavioral, emotional problems that can impact not only their education, but also their lives. I can speak from bullying, both being a bully and then being bullied, the latter being first. Um, I mean, I was bullied by kids in school, and then I was, of course, bullied by my bigger brother. But I mean, looking at it now, I don't like it sucked then, definitely, and it was bullying. The way he treated me was fucking piece of shit. Fuck him. I love him, but
If you're hearing this, fuck you, but I love
yeah,
you.
if you're hearing this, fuck you. Fucking love you, dog. But yeah, not college, in elementary school, that was fucking rough for me. Elementary and
Yeah,
then
I can
early
imagine
middle
that.
school.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, was I a dorky looking kid or something? Yeah, I was easy to prey on. And but that's something, and those kids who are not taught well by their parents or instituted, good guidelines, they're gonna fucking pick at that shit so fast. And then the problem with me with bullying someone is that I would take it out on someone else. I would, I had all this pent up anger and frustration, and I just find a weaker link than me, and I would do that. So I was definitely part of the problem. And we might be able to get a friend on who can speak on this if he ever wanted to.
Yeah.
But because I mean I've gotten a lot better. I've learned from my mistakes, and I'm glad I have, and I'm glad I've gotten given a second chance from them and been able to apologize and just move on and then create more fruitful relationships. But not a lot of kids are able to say that, or not everyone. We've seen that like the suicide rate for kids has gone up dramatically, and because now with social media, it makes it a lot easier to attack other people.
Oh yeah.
And then also these guidelines of you have to be minimum 13 years old. Bro, that shit in Facebook, I remember it was what, like 2010? I was like 10 years old.
Yeah.
But I was like born in 1990.
Yeah, it makes it
How the fuck
so.
you gonna check?
Yeah,
How you gonna
it's
check?
how are you gonna make sure? Like,
Yeah.
there is no way of making sure.
All right.
It's
So, if anyone out there who is listening, if you have been bullied and would like to share that experience, I would love to hear it because I think that'd be a fun point to talk about.
yeah,
Just to see other experiences of bullying. Because
yeah.
I never had the, I guess, I had physical from my brother, but
That's
that's
like
different.
that's like
And
brotherly like rivalry. It's not really
right.
hate. It's like kind of just
Yeah,
like
it's just more like
it's
I'm bigger,
banter,
stronger than
really.
you,
Yeah,
so I'm gonna make you do the things I don't want to do or whatnot.
exactly.
But in school, I definitely got verbally abused, and oh my God, I can remember it now. I can remember it now, just being like, I want to fucking kill you, or fucking give me 10 seconds, just both my hands on your neck, fucking snap it back, snap it
Oof.
forward,
Okay.
360 no, like,
All
dude,
right
no.
then.
That's the thing. I never acted upon it. There are kids who
There are
have.
kids that will
That's another problem.
that they have, and they most like there are kids nowadays that
That
they
may
most likely
will.
will.
They might do it to themselves, self-harm. Like there's different ways people find a way to pent it out. Other
Yeah.
people, take up sports. They take up self-harm, unfortunately, or they do harm on others. There's different things that, like for me, my therapeutic session was playing basketball as a kid. That really helped me, but it could only help me so much.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to hear if you have anything to say before we move on. I think to our last
Yeah, I think this next one will
negative
be
point.
our last negative point. Yeah, um, well, I kind of wish I had more to say on the bullying, but since I was bouncing around either between homeschooling or special needs schools and whatnot, smaller classes and all that, I can't really say much on it. I mean, one thing is when I got into high school, I guess I could say there'd be some times where it was like verbal and whatnot, but I was in high school at that point. I didn't give a fuck that much. I kind of just went along with it. I'm like, oh, yeah, yeah, whatever. I'm a loser. Like, because you don't care at that point. You don't care. But like when you're in these younger ages, like middle school and
Hard.
all that, it's hard. Like, that shit stings like bad, and it could really get to somebody.
Yeah, like we all know the phrase that like sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Yeah.
Man, your fucking words hurt.
Yeah, no,
Fuck
like
you, Timmy.
there are some people that
You are.
there's some people that like they can definitely like they can have those words hit them and like nothing will happen. But
Bounce
there's
back, yeah,
but like, bro,
the thing is, it will chip at you.
it will
People will
definitely
say,
chip at
"Oh,
you.
it doesn't." It will. I
Like
was able to get through that. For me in high school, that was the worst, in the sense that like I would pent up all my frustration, and they said, "Fuck that! Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't react. They want the reaction, whatnot." But at a certain point, those last few words hit, and it fucking broke me into a
yeah,
trillion.
that's the thing though. That like it chisels you like very
Yeah,
lightly until eventually just someone with a
bullies are
fucking
good at
hammer
that.
just fucking done. That's
Bullies are
it.
really good at that.
Yeah, real good at it. All right,
So second, so the
let's get
second point on
into our
the list,
last point for the night.
the decline in school safety. There have been a string
Oh,
of high-profile mass shootings in American schools,
this is a big
resulting
one.
not only in dozens of deaths, but many debates about school safety. In one poll, over 50% of teenagers said they were worried about the possibility of gun violence in school. Teachers all across the country are faced with the problem of figuring out how to prevent attacks and protect the lives of students and personnel. Some suggest special training for teachers in concealed weapons might make schools safer, while critics argue that more guns in school could lead to more accidents and injuries.
Yeah.
My opinion, or do you want to go first?
No, you go first. That's fine.
I would say that I mean, in recent history to the last like 6 months to year, of course, with COVID and the pandemic, um,
The pandemic.
we have seen, well, what did I say?
You said pandemic.
Pandemic. Yeah. You see, this is what I'm talking about, bullying, because my fucking
Oh my god.
speech.
What bullying? Come on.
Because like,
We're
I talk
adults,
right,
dude.
dick.
We're adults, dude.
Shut
Come on.
up, nerd. Sorry. I mean, we have seen a bit of a decline in these school accidents, but I'll definitely read the news and be like, oh, school or kid stabbed at school
Oh yeah.
in Wyoming.
It may
Or
not be
in,
mass now, but it's still
yeah,
like happening.
right. Like, thankfully, there hasn't been any, or no, I think we may be blanking because I'm pretty sure I do remember like there was like a school shooting or an accident. Not, I don't know. I don't want to say too long ago, but not too long ago, but like in the last maybe year and a half, that had some high profile news
I'm not
on it.
sure.
But
Yeah,
overall,
we're
I mean,
definitely blanking, but
we
yeah.
haven't had no, fortunately, no, Sandy Hook or the, oh my God, I'm blanking on the Florida one.
Stoneman Douglas, something
Stoneman
like that.
Douglas.
Yeah.
Fuck that kid. Don't
Oh yeah,
care.
no, that kid's.
Um,
Ugh.
no Columbine shit like that. Thankfully, we haven't had shit like that.
Yeah.
But I would say that I'm definitely on the side of like I don't know if concealed weapons really help,
No.
because the thing is, yeah, the teachers are bigger and stronger, especially middle school and elementary. But 50 of those little kids versus one teacher.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna
I
work.
mean, putting myself in my situation, I've had this discussion I think with a friend back here. Um, how many like third graders can you beat? Man, I give myself 15 at most
Oh my god.
before they overtake me. Like I'm punching left and right,
Oh
kicking
my
them in the
god.
face, but shit. But
What
that
the fuck?
16th, that 16th kid is getting that gun, having fun.
Jesus Christ.
It's fucked, and it's funny, but it's fucked. The thing is, because like, and then when you think about kids in high school, bro, there's some grown ass men in high school. We
Dude,
went to school
we had
with
fucking
grown ass fucking
tanks.
men.
We had
We had
fucking
fucking
tanks,
tanks.
bro.
I'm telling you, I best believe some of those teachers would get fucking stomped by them if those
Oh,
kids were
100%.
doing that.
If they were insane, for sure, just fucking doof
Oh yeah,
on the
that school
floor.
that so like the thing of concealed weapons, I don't think it's valid at all. And I haven't seen any or much discussion in the recent
Not only for
months.
the fact that like the teachers at some point wouldn't be able to do anything. What if the teacher themselves were
Right.
insane?
Like, dude, there's, oh my God, in what was it? It was either I think it was senior year. I think it was senior or junior year. I had drama, and the teacher. But dude, the class before me just destroyed her. They were like, I don't know if they were teasing her. They mentally broke her. She started crying. She started just getting because they kept like saying shit or whatnot. I don't remember. But dude, if she had a weapon, shit, I wouldn't blame her for whipping that shit out and just
Yeah. No, I mean,
popping them in the face.
he's back to the bullying and everything, dude. That kind of shit could push
Yeah,
people to like do this
kids
crazy
make fun
shit,
of
man.
way too much, bro. Like, dude, this guy's trying to help you out. The fuck are you making fun of his hairline or his height? Gives a shit. He's a grown ass dude making no money to teach a dickhead like you.
You have the privilege of being like taught something, and
Exactly.
you're here making fun of their fucking shoes.
Yeah, like, bro.
What's the point in that, dude? What is the point?
Like, I'll say this though. I had that one teacher, senior year. He was a dick, so we made fun of him all the time, but we didn't say it to his face.
That's the thing. Like
And it's a little
we
different, but
have
it's
we
like,
have said things about teachers, sure, but not straight to their face like that.
yeah.
That doesn't. I
Like,
mean,
have I
is
challenged a
it?
teacher before? Yes.
It's like I'm not gonna say it's a good thing. Like you said it behind, like we said it behind their backs. It's not a good thing,
But it's
but
a thing.
it
It's
like
gonna happen. It's gonna stay
it's gonna
happening. I'm
happen.
not against it.
Students are still gonna say bad shit about teachers behind their back. Sure, they'll be saying like, "Oh God, this fucking dick," or like,
Yeah, like, oh
like
my
shit
god,
like
this one
that.
sucks or whatnot.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, this bitch sucks. Like I hate her. Like
But I'm not
whatever.
gonna
Like
whip out a 22 and just pop him in the head.
yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So definitely, the I wouldn't say it's surprising to say that 50% of teenagers said they were, in that one poll, that 50% of teenagers said they were worried about the possibility of gun violence. Because the thing is, there's a lot of schools that they don't have checkpoints, which, that's for me, it's neither here or there of like, I don't know. Like, I don't know
I
if that
I
should be a thing.
I
Like metal
think
detectors, things like that. Because a kid could really just whip out a knife and
I
just
think it's
strike
I think
somebody.
it's gone to the point where like I don't want to say like I don't know if it's gonna sound bad or not, but like invasion of privacy at this point is
Right.
kind of like not. It's not valid at this point now because, bro, you guys are
'Cause
asking for it.
you're invading them before anything happens. But the thing is, we have to be proactive and not reactive. But there's certain like ways to handle being proactive. I remember there was a discussion. I don't know if it actually pulled through in one area, but of having clear book bags. That is some of the dumbest motherfucking
Yeah,
shit in the world. Because
that
some
sound
kids
that
need to
just
bring
sounds
things that they
stupid. I
they
didn't
feel
even
like they
know.
shouldn't share or have to share, whether it
Yeah,
be like medication or special ointments, things like that. Like the different things, or they don't wanna they wanna hide something of theirs because they feel like they're gonna get bullied or
yeah.
harassed by it. So that's just another thing. I don't know. I would like to search that up, but I'll search that up after, and we could definitely talk about
But
that some other day.
the one thing that I know the one thing that I think of for sure is that like something has to be done, like either metal detectors or whatnot. Yeah, sure. Like, and if it goes off, you like, you know, push them to the side privately, and you like look through their bag and whatnot, or you ask their permission to look through their bag and everything.
Yeah, but if the
Um,
kid actually had like something on him,
yeah,
it's not like I'm not gonna say like it's not just to like pin him down and things like that, but that's really gonna traumatize him, and who knows how much that would affect him.
yeah,
Like, would that be like would he be like, oh fuck, I made a big mistake, or like I fucking hate you guys,
yeah.
you just embarrassed me in front of the whole school, like I was gonna make a name for myself, shit like that, like get super psychotic with it.
Oh yeah.
But
No, but it is. I feel like something for sure has to be done at like the entrance of like every school because like, guys, you're asking for it at this point. Kids are just
exactly.
walking in. You guys aren't doing anything about it. They have book bags on them that can carry a rifle, like maybe not a huge rifle, but like a decent sized rifle that could be like fully automatic or something, or even a handgun is still just as bad anyway. But a gun nonetheless, or even a knife or something, they can carry a weapon in their book bags, and you would never know.
Yeah.
It's like something that you guys don't really want to do anything about it. I don't, because you don't want to spend the extra money to keep your students safe. That goes back
Yeah,
to the
exactly.
funding again. It
Yeah.
goes back to
So,
funding
yeah,
again because it's like
it's definitely a big,
you
big
guys
thing.
you
Like
guys
school
don't
securities.
want to spend more money to make your schools more secure. Then yes, this stuff is gonna keep happening.
I'm curious to hear from anyone who's listening.
I'd love to hear from anyone. Yeah, I'd love to hear from anyone what they think of any of this.
How many times did you have a school locked down? If I can remember correctly, middle school alone, I had like 5 or like 3 or 4. I had 1 per year for sure. So at least 3, and I think I had 2 in 6th grade. In high school, did we have any? We
No.
had like 1, right? No?
A lockdown? No, we never had a lockdown.
No?
No, not
Sure.
for
I
not for
swear we.
anything. We got dismissed.
No, yeah,
we
it was
got
just practice ones. It was practice
we got
ones.
dismissed once for a fire. I remember that.
Oh my god, I remember that.
There was something
was
caught on
literally like a
fire. I
fucking
don't know what.
microwave. It was like a microwave. I
Yeah,
remember.
something caught on fire, so we got dismissed for the day.
Yeah.
That was funny.
But in elementary school, I remember there was a shooter on campus.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
That's
And this kid was
shocking.
fucking crying, bro. Laying in the teacher's lap, and I'll say this, man, that teacher was bad as fuck.
Oh my god.
He was right next to her titty, and I was like,
Oh
God
my
damn.
Why
Kid's
did-
name was
why didn't-
Riley, and I was like,
Why didn't you
damn,
cry, dude? What are you doing?
I ain't no punk ass bitch.
Come on, bro.
I would have been like, what, you trying to kill me, bitch? Fuck you want? No, I'm kidding.
No, nobody ever try that, please. Nobody ever try that. If there is
You're
an
an ass
active
for
shooter, do not do that. Stay
facts.
put. Try just like
Look for your teacher's titty.
look for your
like my
teacher.
boy Riley.
Do what they say. Do not
Oh my
go
God.
and fight them.
Yeah.
Please. And I don't
Okay.
want it later to like, this kid got shot because of you guys. It's like, no, we told them not to.
Unless
No.
Kidding.
No.
we are kidding, though. Please.
We are kidding.
Don't take-
Please don't
Remember,
take.
this is for conversational and comedic purposes more than anything.
We're trying to provide conversation at the same time, comedic relief. So,
So take all of our words with a grain of a pinch of salt.
literally, exactly. I couldn't have explained it any better. Yeah, just like
And
that.
I don't even know if that made any sense.
It probably didn't, but I agree with him nonetheless.
So I guess we've been going for a while, right?
Oh, yeah, we've been going for quite some time, so I think we're gonna end it here.
Wait, let's go through. I wanted to go through the top 5 emerging trends.
Oh
quick.
yeah, please, by all means.
And then because I know we've been going for a long time, so I just wanted to see how much time we really can go through this.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
But so we're gonna go through the list just one by one. So increase in maker learning initiatives. Doing a little quick thing read is that what they're talking about is that making students learn in collaborative spaces where they identify problems, create inventions, make prototypes, and work on them till they're able to figure it out. I've had experience with that, especially in my last few years. That being in college already, not grade school. So to hear that they're going to start doing that or that they are implementing that, that's great. Because in my experience, now that I've had more group, I mean, I had the group projects back then, but now with the group projects, it'd be in class and we'd be working on things. I'm trying to, whether it be like engineering or understanding different things, and we'd work on it together and just have our fun, and then actually put out a good product, whatnot. So in my marketing course, I just finished a project with some kids, had a blast with them. And my entrepreneurship class, I had a really fun time, even though that class fucking blows. To that teacher out there, to my Marquette guys, we all know who the fuck that guy is. Fuck that guy. Dick. Terrible. Says he's an entrepreneur. He owns another fucking house. And he sells it off during the summer. What do you fucking mean?
It's an
That's real
Airbnb.
estate, dumbass. Yeah, it's an Airbnb type shit. Okay. Sorry. I had to get rid of that.
He had to take it off his chest.
That, taking the initiative of just having it doesn't have to be lecture, all the time. It's, hey kids, we're gonna I'm giving you an assignment. I want you guys to get together, round up, do it, give me your answers, and then you hear from different groups. I mean, oh shit, why didn't we think of that? Or
Yeah, no, that's a
are they
great
fucking
idea.
stupid?
That is a great idea. Yeah, I like that because then you can think about how fucking dumb you are.
Exactly. 2, moving away from a letter grade system. I'm a huge fan of that.
I think
I
that's a good
prefer the
idea too.
percentage,
Oh, I love
the
seeing.
little percentages rather than the just
I
A,
hate
B, C,
seeing.
D.
I hate that because
Yeah.
I mean it could be a C, but it could be the low C. Like you could be
Yeah, it can
just
either be
barely
a
passing.
70 or it can be a 79. You do not know.
You would never know. I'd much prefer a percentage. I could
Like it
care
says,
less
oh,
for a
you
letter.
like even when you start bringing up the grades, it goes C plus, C minus, C,
No, that
whatever.
I hate
Like
that.
you understand like the percentages, but it's like okay, but how far am I from really getting to that next letter grade?
Exactly, you don't know. That's why a percentage you know exactly where you are and you know like if you're in a safe spot or if you need to improve.
So like our high school, we had that.
Yep, we did.
Like it would still show up the letter
It would
grade, but it
show a
would still say
letter,
like
but we would
percentage
have the percentage
according to
right next
number.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So number three is changing classroom approaches like the flipped learning. So this is basically to like having more discussions. So this is similar to the first one, giving class lectures, followed by students working on at home on assignments to enhance their understanding of the subject. Flipped learning involves students watching videos or relevant coursework prior to class and using class time through discussions and collaborative projects. I fucking love that. I love that. You tell me to watch something before class, probably won't watch it. Probably won't do the read.
Knowing us, yeah, no, we won't.
Knowing us, but the kids who are more inclined to do that shit,
Oh yeah. Oh fuck, you
I'd
forgot.
rather just be like, I was like, oh, we're I'm doing business 101. So what do you guys think of the new or Apple unveiling the new phone? What do we have to say? Big fan of Apple. Fuck Apple. Cool. Think it's not. Why? Why not? Talking about it, like, oh, why is this stock outperforming the numbers? Why is the numbers outperforming? Like, shit
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
That's super fun, super enjoyable. I'm talking from a business perspective, but I bet there's like, with art, like which painting or
Oh yeah.
whatever, like
Yeah,
architecture,
it doesn't lead
engineering.
into just one subject. It can be every
Yeah,
subject. Every single
right.
subject can lead into that. Yeah, for sure.
Which I think is just really good.
Oh, for sure.
So number four, I did take a look at this. This trend in higher education is a departure from traditional college degrees that require years of study over a multi-year span. Micro-credentials, rather, are also known as digital badges or nano degrees that demonstrate knowledge or skill in a given area and earned through short, targeted educational offerings. About 20% of higher education institutions offer some kind of alternative credentialing system. There we go. Often
Just can't read
partnered,
today.
partnered, fucking not. Often partnering with a third-party learning providers. Yes, I did right. I had to make sure I did it right. But I did say it right.
We just can't
Fuck.
do it today.
Should I go back to grade school,
I
guys?
think
Let me know.
so. Let him know,
So
please.
you were thinking of doing something like this, or are thinking of this with Tesla, right?
I was considering it. Yes, I
Yeah,
was.
I'm a huge fan of this because um, I have a couple friends who are firefighters. They got it through the EMT school, the medical school, whatnot. But then they also have like the firefighting school or what, like something like that, and they get a
Yeah.
degree off that, or like there are other things. I might be speaking out my ass for the firefighter thing, but I believe that's what it is. Um, but I know there's other programs like that where you can get like a 2 year degree in like how to service car, like car service things like
Yep.
that, or like boating. Like I
Yep.
remember I would get this ad all the time.
Oh, all the time. I still get it.
Yeah, I wish I could remember the name.
It was like whatever. I think we all know the
Yeah,
ad. I think we all know the ad.
we might know the ad, but I'm a huge fan of that because yes, to put yourself up for 4 years and then probably each year coughin up tens of thousands of dollars, especially when it comes to higher education. Not everyone can do that. Not everyone has the privilege to do that. To many different circumstances. Fortunately for us, we can if we choose to, if that's what we believe in. Others can't because whatever.
Yeah.
So to offer the little micro things of like, oh, I want to get into real estate. Okay, 2 year class, 1 year class, 3 month course, whatever. Wanted to get into some kind of business, maybe not a CEO or not a manager, but let me get into this, and then you can now expand. You can now go different career paths, through different sections.
Yeah.
It's like a open world video game.
Yeah.
End goal over here. All right, I'm gonna go left, right, up, down. Just find my way there,
Little like,
which I'm really a big fan of.
little like
Yeah,
side
little baby
quests
steps,
and
stuff like that,
whatnot.
side quest type thing.
Yeah.
which I really like.
It's fun because it's also things that you don't have to commit to either. You know, it's like if you don't let if you like you take the class every now and then like if you take the class now and it's like you realize that you don't love it as much as you thought you were going to, and guess what? You don't have to get a job there now. You just kind of just
Yeah,
like, well,
you can reset, but the thing is, you're not resetting after 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
no. At that point, it's better to just stay committed to it. Like you went
Yeah.
that far at that point. You
Like
have like
that's the thing with like the traditional degree system
yeah,
is that I'm in year 3. I just switched my major again, literally just yesterday.
fuck,
But I had been thinking about this for a good time, so I said, okay, let me plan ahead
yeah.
and do my things, and I'm on a good track. But a friend of mine, he just switched his thing. He's a fucking senior. Don't know. I'm just saying.
I don't
Best
understand
of luck.
that.
I told him best of luck, dude. Don't know what the fuck you're doing, but
Yeah, I don't get that. Like,
I
why
wish
would
him
you?
the
You
best.
wasted so many years already. You might as well just stick to it.
Right.
You're about to finish it.
Exactly. And
I
so
don't
the
know.
last one, yeah, like that's one thing I don't get. So last one, so what we're saying is that this thing of like little micro credentials is amazing.
Oh,
So the
it's
last one,
great.
growing concerns for social and emotional development. Fucking love this. There's a good, like I said, my school, they have a therapeutic dog on campus that if you want to say hi to, you need some cuddles, go ahead.
Yeah,
There's a good amount of like counselors that would love to just hear your problems, see how best they can help and fix it. I appreciate that. And now there's
it's
not even
honestly
only for
perfect.
school. There are different like programs and like um, I've seen like YouTubers ads. They're like, oh, you can talk to a therapist about blah 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 blah. Because because I mean we all know mental health is very important. Mental health and physical health are before anything. Never put anything before your own health.
Nothing.
That is something I struggled
Nothing.
with for a long time because I didn't know.
It doesn't matter if it's school, work, whatever the hell it might be. Your own health is your main
Take a day
priority.
off. Take a day off
Dude,
if you need to. I took it off.
take a day or two. It doesn't matter, bro. Like you tell your boss, look, you can fire me if you want, but I was in a very bad state right now, and I needed this.
Exactly. And the thing is, most of the time, us working right now, we're expendable. So
Yeah.
best of like no disrespect. Like to put it to the truth, we probably would have to get another job. I mean, shit. But if you can get a job, if you well, actually, right now, bro, that job market's wide the fuck open. So you want something, go fucking get it. You can go ahead and get it probably. But yeah, just seeing this, um, really
It's
fucking happy.
so amazing. Like now they're starting to put more care for the students, which is honestly something that is very important right now. Very important.
Yeah, I'm just
So many fucking students are struggling right now. They got so many like tests and fucking homework assignments, essays and whatnot, and they're freaking the fuck out because they have to balance that with work and everything because they got to pay for tuition because sometimes they don't have the same privilege of like people that get, parents pay for their tuition and whatnot, or like they help them pay for their tuition and their room and board and whatnot, and they don't have that same privilege, so they're having to balance work and studying for all their tests and writing all their essays, and it's a struggle. It really is a struggle. I can tell Ian is like
yeah.
amazed by something right
This
now.
comment, fucking nuts. They wrote it a year ago. They're like, her kid just or yeah, her kid just started kindergarten online learning, and they sent him a box big as shit, like, super heavy, I guess, with all the equipment. But she says that her kid, he can get on the computer and dissect a 3D image in Blender and rebuild it in another 3D graphics program. He's a master at reading communications. He would totally blow your mind at what he is able to accomplish on his own without being overburdened with the overwhelming pile of useless, repetitive information that school wishes to impose on him. And by the way, a lot of it's just wrong. And then she just lists all the, things like Columbus discovered America. We all know that's cap. Fuck that. That ain't true. you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And then yeah, a bunch of other shit she goes into, but that's just not. We're not gonna talk about that. We're just gonna leave it where it is. Once again, we are curious to see if you guys have any comments. Remember any suggestions, if you guys any
Yep.
topics you want us to talk about. We love to hear that. We
Yep.
appreciate any and all support you guys give to us. So yeah,
like we
Joseph,
said,
take it.
like we said, we have all of our socials on the website, and on the website itself also allows you to send us emails or send us a message on the website or voice memos. Um, so just go take a look at it if you want us to talk about something, if you wanna talk to us personally about something, or even if you want to try and be on the show for something for an episode, something that you feel very passionate about that you would like to discuss on the show, then go check it out. Like I said, it's letsgetrealshow.net and everything is there. So just let us know about any questions or concerns or comments that you might have, whatever you want, just let us know on there. With that being said, thank you guys so much for listening. And for those on YouTube, thank you guys so much for watching. And we will see you next time. Take care.
I love you.
Love you
That's
guys.
good.
I love you guys too. I love you guys too. See you guys later.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck
No,
you.
no, fuck you too.
Thank you.
Bye.